found a church. It's I passed it on the way up. It's called St. Stephen's, and I thought then it looked quite interesting, but this little side gate was open, so I've mooched in because it's interesting. It goes under here. It's good to get out of that park. And brickwork. Quite interesting. I'm going to have a walk round. So we got buildings at, windows at ground level here. Here's our lightning rod. So these lightning rods divert the energy from the sky, the electricity from the sky, into a safe grounding capacitor. More. Why would you build these fantastic windows on ground level? Look at this. But it's got an 18 something. These look like steps going in almost. Look at this. This is a very strange place. Okay. Door here. Decent work on these. Quite a nice thing. Church machine. Let's walk around the front. I don't know if this is still being used. A lot of these churches aren't even in use anymore. Second little tower up here. Crazy sun. Pentecostal Church, St. Stephen's. Yeah, so it is still working. I'll go around to the front. This brickwork's pretty knackered. But I can't wait to get home. I tell you, these people today. I'd rather never go out at all, to be honest. I don't know if there was ever a graveyard here. I'll have a little look-see when I get home, but it's pretty plain. And here's a dog. Story of my life. So, I don't know, maybe at one time this up here was the graveyard. Bit of a mess. So I come back to the church today to look at these ground floor windows, because it seems to me as if these are windowsills. These are recessed windowsills, and then there'll be more roof, there'll be more building below that. And again here, these are below ground level. Building's cracked, structure's cracked here. You see how this absolutely makes no sense at all to have windows here below the ground with these little window edges on. This one has been fenced off because of the dirt that gets in. Little one here. And round the corner, goes right down here, look. Can't get in there. But it goes down quite far. So what level are these windows? So if these windows had more building below, yeah? Can you see? These little windows here, these are on the same level if you go round as these little windows here, yeah? So there's about that much building again underground.
Yeah.
That there at the bottom. They say they built this church in the 1860s to a 14th century design, which was very unusual for the architect, because it was a bloody 14th century church. There's a little fat thing stone in there. (1886) May. Right, okay. It's obviously just been chucked in there. Okay. St. Stephen's Pentecostal Church, Battersea. Hey guys. Well, here it is. It's St. Stephen's Church. And there are very, very few photographs of it. Not an awful lot of information about it. And no Victorian photographs at all that I've been able to find. I've had a real sort of route about, but they have a couple of photographs of it, and then they just launch off into all these other churches that are about, as they do. But there is a write-up about it, which is interesting. So it's still used, it's not Anglican, and it was built by the architect William White. So I found William White. I'm not going to Wiki. He was an English architect. There he is. Another one of them. I love his stovepipe hat on when he goes out. He was noted for his part in 19th century Gothic revival architecture and church restorations. He was the son of a clergyman and great nephew of the writer and naturalist Gilbert White of Selborne. His style was close to that of William Butterfield, and he built many churches, and he certainly did. So here's his list. So this is what he did in Cornwall, Devon, Essex, Hampshire, London, and interestingly, the one that we're looking at isn't on his list. You got this one here, which I'm going to go and have a look at, because this is old world, isn't it? You can see this is old world stuff. And there's another one called St. Luke's as well. I don't think it's his, but that same sort of tower look. Oxford, he did them. So it actually says here, like, almost completely rebuilt, restoration of chancel and south aisle, restoration. So they are saying that some of these were restored. Rebuild, comprehensive restoration. Be interesting to look up some of these. But yeah, there's his contemporaries. Let's read a little bit more about this church. So William White, 1825 to 1900. Oh yeah, and when you look at some of the dates here, they clash as well. So he was doing things at the same time. But they're given, I think they're given a building, they're shown a building, they're shown what needs to be done. They rework the church, and then they get builders and artisans to do the work. But any good architect, especially on some of these church projects, would surely have to be on hand, because of the complexity of some of the brickwork and you know, it just makes sense, doesn't it? So back here, I'm not going to take long on this. So registers date from 1880, so there was presumably a temporary building before this one, because this one was built in 1887. A temporary building, they're calling. So the foundation stone was laid on the 15th of May 1886. Sorry, that was my son at the door coming home from work. And it was consecrated in 1887. The material is the usual stock brick laced with red. I'm going to look into stock bricks as well. The style is 14th century, later than that which White generally used. But in a church like this, style is not of much importance. Well, why build it like a 14th century church? You see those small windows that are on floor level, that says to me that the whole thing was just probably a ruin and a lot under mud, and he sorted it out. The church has roads on 3 sides of it, and there is not much space to spare, so it is quite small and has low windowless aisles. The small tower with a brooch spire is at the east of the north aisle. If they've built a church there, there was a building there before, and there's been a building there for a long time. They find them. They're founded. Like I found it. I came across it. They came across them and did them up. So that's just about all the information that I could find, but it helps to put the place in a bit of context. And those strange little windows, eh? Anyway guys, thanks for watching.